uploading any videos. So I'll start uploading the videos of third semester textbook. You all know that the textbook has changed and the new textbook is Inspiring English. I have earlier put a video on that. So Inspiring English has 3 units. Unit 1 consists of a poem, there is a lesson, a prose, and then we have vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, writing and speaking also in that. In Unit 2, you have the poem Solitary Reaper, and you have an essay written by Stephen Leacock, How to Live to be 200. Then you have, as usual, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, speaking, writing and reading topics. Third unit, you have La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, and there is a prose written by Leo Tolstoy. And after that, as usual, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, reading, speaking, writing. Okay. So in this semester, you have only 3 units, but the 3 units are completely packed. So I will be covering all these units in different videos. So today, I thought I'll start with the first poem, that is, O Captain, My Captain, written by Walt Whitman. Okay, so let me read the poem first. Let's read the poem and then discuss the poem and then go to the summary of it. Okay, so we are not aware of the question paper model as such now. So according to the previous question papers, we are expecting to get essays. So you'll be getting essay from each and every lesson, out of which you have to write 3 or 4. Okay, so we are just making a vague guess because we haven't got any question paper model yet. So before the exam, probably the university will be giving the question paper model, and that time I'll make a video, detailed video on the question paper model and how to prepare in a better manner to score well in the exam. Okay, so let's go directly to the poem, O Captain, My Captain. So this poem is a very remarkable one written by American writer Walt Whitman. Okay, so have you heard about Walt Whitman? Walt Whitman is a very famous American writer. He was a poet, he was also a journalist and essayist. Okay, so his important collection is Leaves of Grass. He was born in 1819 and he died in 1892. So as mentioned earlier, the best known work of Walt Whitman is Leaves of Grass. So this poem is a very interesting poem. It can be called an elegy, okay, because it is written after an important personality who was assassinated. Okay, so you know, assassinated means political personality is murdered. So we don't use the word murdered over there, we use the word assassinated. So who is that important personality? So before going to the poem, let me ask you a question. So you might also have inspirational people in mind, you have motivational people, you might have a favorite teacher or a favorite leader who is very much close to you. Okay, think that he is think that person passes away suddenly. Okay, so what will be your reaction? Obviously we'll all be devastated, all be very sad, but then how will you respond? Will you be writing something about him or her in a book, in a paper, or will you be talking in public? There will be meetings after the demise, people will be gathering and they'll be talking about that important person. So will you be talking, will you be making a public speech over there? So how will you respond? Or will you just be posting something in social media? That also happens in the present day. Okay, so this poem is an elegy to the speaker's recently deceased captain. So who is that captain? The captain is actually 16th President of America. Who is that President of America? Abraham Lincoln. Okay, So, Abraham Lincoln is one of the greatest leaders of the of America, and by the end of American Civil War held during the period of 1861 to 1865. So, by the end of American Civil War, who was assassinated? Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Okay, so this poet feels lost because of the death of unexpected demise of the one of the greatest leaders of America. So what he does, he writes a poem on the on this important personality. So how does he write? He doesn't write directly about Abraham Lincoln. He has written it very symbolically. He doesn't mention the name Abraham Lincoln anywhere in the poem. Okay, so if you look at the poem, he is only mentioning, "Oh captain, my captain," and he is taking a symbolism. Okay, so he is talking about a captain of the ship. Obviously, when we are saying captain, it is the captain of the ship. So the ship has come back after a fearful trip. After a very dangerous trip, a fearful trip, the ship has come to the shore. But what happened? What was the unexpected thing that happened? The leader of the ship, the captain, died. Captain is no more. Okay, so captain's body is lying on the ship. So that is the context in which Walt Whitman writes the poem. Okay, so now I'll read line by line and I'll explain. I'll also use Telugu so that it will be helpful for our college students. So let me read the first two lines. "O captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won." Okay, so what is the poet saying in the first line? The most dreadful trip, the most fearful trip, the most scary trip is done. Okay, so the ship has weathered every rack. There were so many problems, but the ship was able to overcome those problems. And the prize we sought is won. So what were we expecting during all the storms, during all the difficulties? Definitely we'll win. Definitely we'll have success in the end. So we were expecting success throughout the difficulties, throughout the fearful trip, throughout the journey. And now our life has become success. Our lives have become success. Okay, our journey has become productive. But then what is the unexpected loss that the people of US are facing, or symbolically the people in the ship are facing? They have lost their captain. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. So all the people are enjoying because they have won the war, or they have won what they thought they'll not win. Okay, so it is a big success. They have won the American Civil War. And they have also, this symbolic journey has also come to an end successfully. Okay, so all of them are celebrating the success. But there is something lingering behind. What is that? But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold and dead. Okay, but there is something very tragic which has happened. What is that? It is the death of the captain. Okay, so how is the captain lying? Captain is lying motionless. He is dead. So there are bleeding drops of red. We can see blood because he has died in the war, fallen cold and dead. So he is now dead and his body is cold. "O captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills." Okay, so the captain is very dear to me, so I don't want the captain to die. So what am I expecting? I am expecting the captain to come back to life. So I am calling the captain, don't go. Okay, I don't want you to die. So come back to life. Rise up. and hear the bells. See, people are enjoying everywhere. They are celebrating. They are ringing bells. They are singing songs. Flag is flung. The US flag is flung. But then the greatest leader of the US is no more. Okay. So, leader, please come back to life. Captain, please come back to us. We don't want you to go away from here. For you, bouquets and ribboned wreaths. For you, the shores are crowding. For you, they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. So everyone want you to come back because all of them love you so much. Okay, you are very dear to them. So we all want you to come back. We don't want to go back to heaven. Okay, so here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. So the writer is thinking that let this be a dream, let this be a bad dream. Okay, so that in reality the captain comes back. So here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. So I am trying to believe that this is not reality. This is only a very bad dream that I have seen in my sleep. So I am expecting you to come back. But what is happening? How hard the people try, the captain is not responding. The captain is dead. But the people are not really ready to accept that their captain has gone away, has lost his life. Okay. So the captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. I am trying to wake him up. I am keeping my hand on his arm. But then he is not responding because he is already gone. He has no pulse nor will. So there is no life in him, no pulse in him. He has already lost his life. The ship is anchored safe and sound. The ship is on the shore, has come to the shore. So America is safe from the civil war now. Okay, the war is over and Americans have become a huge success in the war. But then the leader of the war is no more. Its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object one. So their object was to win in the war. So they have come to the object. But then the greatest tragedy was that their leader is no more. They want the leader back, but the leader is gone. The leader is dead and he will never come back to life. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. So you enjoy, people you enjoy, but I with mournful tread, but I am not able to enjoy. The poet is saying I am not able to enjoy. I am very sad because my dearest leader is gone and I am not able to be happy. Walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. So let me stay with my captain. He is lying dead on this ship. So I'll be with him. I'll be sad. I'll not be able to enjoy. So that is the situation. So you understood. If you read the poem without knowing the context of the poem, it will be difficult for you to understand. Now you know that this poem is written in the context of American Civil War, and it is like an elegy to the speaker's recently deceased captain, that is the 16th President of America, Abraham Lincoln. Now let me read the summary for you so that you can learn it for your exam. So while reading the summary, I'll explain in Telugu also. So here is the summary. O Captain, My Captain is written by one of the greatest American poets, Walt Whitman, in 1865. So O Captain, My Captain అనేది ఎవరు రాశారు? చాలా ఫేమస్ అయినటువంటి అమెరికన్ రైటర్, ఆయన పేరు వాల్ట్ విట్మాన్. ఆయన ఎప్పుడు రాశారు? 1865లో రాశారు. Walt Whitman, he was born in 1819, as we told earlier, and he died in 1892. He was an American poet, చాలా ఫేమస్ అయినటువంటి అమెరికన్ అమెరికన్ పోయెట్. ఆయన ఎస్సేస్ రాశారు, ఆయన జర్నలిస్ట్గా కూడా పనిచేశారు. The verse collection Leaves of Grass is Walt Whitman's best known work. So Leaves of Grass అనే కలెక్షన్ ఆయన చాలా ఫేమస్ అయినటువంటి వర్క్. ఆ కలెక్షన్లో చాలా పోయమ్స్ ఉంటుంది. దిస్ పోయమ్ ఇస్ టేకన్ ఫ్రమ్ ది అబౌవ్ కలెక్షన్. ఆ లీవ్స్ ఆఫ్ గ్రాస్ అనే కలెక్షన్ నుంచే మనకు ఓ క్యాప్టెన్ మై క్యాప్టెన్ అనే పోయం కూడా తీసుకొని ఇచ్చారు. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకన్ ఫ్రమ్ దాట్ కలెక్షన్ లీవ్స్ ఆఫ్ గ్రాస్. The poem is an elegy to the speaker's recently deceased captain. So elegy అనేది ఏంటి, ఒక ఫేమస్ పర్సనాలిటీ చనిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆ ఫేమస్ పర్సనాలిటీని గుర్తు చేసుకొని మనం ఒక పోయట్రీ రాస్తే దానికి ఎలిజీ అనేది చెప్తారు. సో ఇక్కడ ఎవరు చనిపోయారు, అబ్రహాం లింకన్, 16th ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ అమెరికా అబ్రహాం లింకన్ అమెరికన్ సివిల్ వార్ తర్వాత అసాసినేట్ అయ్యారు, మర్డర్ చేశారు ఆయనని. సో ఆ మర్డర్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత, ఆయన చనిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆయన గురించి డైరెక్ట్గా రాయకుండా ఇండైరెక్ట్గా వాల్ట్ విట్మాన్ ఒక పోయిటరీ రాశారు. సో ఆ పోయంది పేరు ఏంటి, ఓ క్యాప్టెన్ మై క్యాప్టెన్. దట్ ఈస్ దిస్ పోయం. ఓకే, సో వీ కాల్ ఇట్ వాట్, వీ కాల్ ఇట్ ఎలిజీ. The people are celebrating the safe and successful return of their ship, but crying over the loss of its great leader. So ఇది సింబాలిక్గా, డైరెక్ట్గా రాయలేదు, కొంచెం ఇండైరెక్ట్గా ఒక షిప్ షోర్కి వచ్చినట్టు రాస్తున్నారు. ఆ షిప్ ఎలా వచ్చింది, the sea was not very calm. Okay, there was storm, there were all kinds of problems, but then the ship was able to successfully withstand all that storm and then come back to the shore. ఓకే, సో ఆ స్టార్మ్స్ అంతా తాండేసి అది షోర్ దగ్గరకు వచ్చింది షిప్. కానీ ట్రాజడీ ఏంటి, ట్రాజడీ ఏమైంది, ఆ షిప్ది క్యాప్టెన్ లేదంటే ఆ వార్ది గ్రేటెస్ట్ లీడర్ చనిపోయారు. ఓకే, హీ ఈజ్ నో మోర్. ద పోయమ్ ఇస్ సింబాలిక్ ఇన్ నేచర్, టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ది అసాసినేషన్ ఆఫ్ 16th ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ అమెరికా అబ్రహాం లింకన్ బై ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది అమెరికన్ సివిల్ వార్. సో అమెరికన్ సివిల్ వార్ 1861 నుంచి 1865 వరకు జరిగింది. ఆ 1865 ఆ టైంలో ఎవరు చనిపోతారు, ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ అమెరికా అప్పుడున్న ప్రెసిడెంట్ అబ్రహాం లింకన్ చనిపోతారు, ఆయనని చంపేస్తారు, హీల్ బి అసాసినేటెడ్. ఓకే, సో ద వార్ బికమ్స్ అ సక్సెస్, కానీ లీడర్ విల్ నాట్ బి దేర్. The poem begins by saying that the difficult and fearful journey is over. The ship has survived every storm and the journey has become a huge success. So starting లోనే ఏం చెప్తారు, మనం ఇప్పటి వరకు చాలా డిఫికల్ట్ అని అనుకున్న ఆ జర్నీ అయిపోయింది, కానీ ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ స్టార్మ్ ఏంటి, ఆ జర్నీ అంత డిఫికల్ట్ అయినా కూడా దాంట్లో మనం సక్సెస్ తీసుకురావడానికి అయింది. పీపుల్ అంతా ఆ సక్సెస్ గురించి ఆలోచించి చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు రిజాయిస్ చేస్తున్నారు, దే ఆర్ సెలబ్రేటింగ్ ద సక్సెస్. కానీ దే ఆర్ ఆల్సో సాడ్ ఎట్ వన్ పాయింట్, ఎట్ ద బ్యాక్ ఆఫ్ దియర్ మైండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ రన్నింగ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ద లాస్ ఆఫ్ దియర్ గ్రేటెస్ట్ లీడర్. The greatest leader has lost his life, or greatest leader during that time. Okay, the ship has come safely to the shore, the difficult journey is over, but the price they have to pay for the victory is the life of their beloved captain. The speaker asked the captain to wake up from his sleep and listen to the bells ringing and trumpets playing to denote the success of the war. So poemలో చెప్పాను కదా, పోయం డిస్కస్ చేసేటప్పుడు చెప్పినట్టు ఈయన ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు, మేబీ ఇది ఒక బ్యాడ్ డ్రీమ్, నాకు ఉన్న ఒక బ్యాడ్ డ్రీమ్ అనేది అనుకుంటున్నారు, మీరు పడుకుంటున్నారేమో, నాకు మీరు చనిపోయారు అని అనిపించిందేమో, లేవండి లేవండి అని ఎవరు చెప్తున్నారు, స్పీకర్ చెప్తున్నారు. కానీ ఆయన ఆల్రెడీ చనిపోయారు. ద స్పీకర్ ఇస్ not ready to accept ante. People have gathered to welcome their captain, but the captain is already dead. They are waving their flag and playing music for him. They have brought bouquets and wreaths. వాళ్ళ సక్సెస్ సెలబ్రేట్ చేయడానికి అన్ని తయారులు చేశారు, కానీ captain is lying dead. The speaker is not ready to accept that the leader is dead. He hopes that the captain will come back to life. So last hope అన్నట్టు, చనిపోలేదేమో, వస్తుందేమో, మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ లైఫ్కి వస్తుందేమో అనేది స్పీకర్ది మైండ్లో ఉంది. బట్ దోస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ హిస్ ఫాల్స్ పర్సెప్షన్. receptions. The speaker requests the captain to rise up as people are enjoying and waiting to have a look at their captain. Still, the captain does not respond. He is cold and dead. His lips are pale and unmoving. He doesn't feel the speaker's touch. So the speaker is trying to wake the captain, but he is not responding. He is lying cold and dead. ఆయన చేయి మీద చేయి పెట్టుకుంటే అసలే ఏం రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు, చాలా కోల్డ్గా డెడ్గా ఉన్నారు. He moves towards the fallen captain and mourns over the loss. So the speaker is very sad because the leader is very dear to him and the dearest person has died. So he is not ready to accept the death of the captain. Even as the poem "O Captain, My Captain" celebrates the end of the American Civil War, it is also an elegy for the President Abraham Lincoln. Victory and loss are thus closely interconnected throughout the poem. So it is like a mingling of both success and failure. Our life is also like that. Life is never a success throughout. It's never a failure throughout. It is a mixture of both success and failure. So in this poem also we can see there are vibes of happiness, vibes of success, but then there are also negative vibes throughout the poem. Victory and loss are thus closely interconnected throughout the poem. Celebrations of victory are haunted by sadness. So I hope you are very clear about the poem and you have understood what I spoke now, the summary of the poem. Study it well. If you want the summary, you can just mail me. My mail ID is roopna.ravi@gmail.com. I'll also put the summary in my website. Okay. Thank you for listening.